Somewhere right now, while you are still lying in your bed, while your eyes are still heavy with sleep, while your heart is still tired from yesterday's battle, God is already awake. God does not sleep. God does not slumber. And while you were resting, He was working. He was working on your behalf. He was working on your breakthrough. He was working on the very thing you stopped believing would ever happen. I want you to hear me this morning. I want you to hear me clearly. Something is shifting in the spirit realm right now, in this exact moment, as these words reach you. You did not open this by accident. You did not wake up today by accident. There is no such thing as an accident in the economy of God. Every sunrise is a sentence God is writing over your life, and today's sentence says, I am preparing a miracle you never expected. You have been praying for so long that you have almost forgotten what you were praying for. You have been waiting for so long that waiting has become your address. You wake up there, you eat breakfast there, you go to sleep there. Waiting has become the room you live in. But I am here to tell you, the wait is not wasted. The wait is not empty. The wait is not silence. The wait is preparation. And what feels like delay to you is actually detail to God. Have you ever watched a woman get ready for her wedding day? She does not walk out the door the moment she wakes up. There is a process. There is the dress. There is the hair. There is the makeup. There is every small adjustment that nobody else sees but that she insists on getting right. From the outside, it looks like she is taking forever. From the inside, she is being prepared for a moment that will only happen once. That is what God is doing with your miracle. He is not being slow. He is being thorough. He is not ignoring you. He is perfecting every detail so that when it finally comes, it comes in such a way that only He can get the glory. Somebody reading this has been asking, God, why is it taking so long? God, I have done everything right. I have prayed. I have fasted. I have given. I have forgiven people who did not deserve my forgiveness. I have kept believing when everyone around me told me to give up. So why, God, why is my miracle still not here? I want to tell you something, and I need you to receive it in your spirit, not just your ears. Your breakthrough was never late. It was always on time. You just did not know God's clock, because God's clock does not run on your calendar. God's clock runs on His faithfulness, and His faithfulness has never failed, not even once, not in the history of the world. Think about every person in every story you have ever been told about faith. None of them received their miracle on their own timeline. Every single one of them had to walk through a season that looked hopeless before they walked into a season that looked like glory. The mountain did not move the moment they asked. The door did not open the moment they knocked. The sea did not part the moment they arrived at the edge of it, but it did move, it did open, it did part. Because delay is not denial. Write that down somewhere. You will see it every day. Delay is not denial. This morning, I am not here to give you a light devotional. I am not here to give you a soft word so that you can feel comfortable and go back to sleep. I am here to shake something loose in your spirit. I am here to declare over you that this is your morning, not next month, not next year, not when things finally calm down. Today, right now, in this very hour, something is loosening. Something that has been stuck for months, maybe for years, is beginning to move. You need to stop looking at what is in front of you and start looking at what God has already spoken over you. What is in front of you is the bill you cannot pay. What is in front of you is the diagnosis that scared you. What is in front of you is the relationship that broke your heart. What is in front of you is the door that keeps closing no matter how hard you push. But what God has spoken over you is bigger than what is in front of you. What God has spoken over you was spoken before the foundation of the world, before that bill existed, before that diagnosis existed, before that door existed. God already called you blessed. God already called you healed. God already called you provided for. God already called you victorious. So this morning, I need you to make a decision. I need you to decide that you are done agreeing with your circumstances and you are starting to agree with your Creator. Your circumstances say it is impossible. Your Creator says all things are possible. Your circumstances say you are stuck. Your Creator says He is making a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Your circumstances say you have been forgotten. Your Creator says He has engraved you on the palms of His hands, and a mother may forget her nursing child, but He will never forget you. I want you to say this out loud right now, wherever you are, even if it is just a whisper. God is preparing a miracle I never expected. Say it again. Say it like you mean it. Say it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. The words you speak over your own life carry weight. They carry authority. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And this morning I am asking you to choose life. I am asking you to choose faith. I am asking you to choose to believe again, even after everything that has tried to convince you not to. Some of you have built walls around your hope because hope has disappointed you before. You prayed for that marriage to be restored, and it fell apart anyway. You prayed for that business to succeed, and it collapsed anyway. You prayed for that loved one to be healed, and heaven was silent. So you built a wall. You said, I will not hope like that again. I will not set myself up to be disappointed again. I understand that wall. I understand why you built it. But I am here to tell you that wall is not protecting you. That wall is imprisoning you. Because on the other side of that wall is the very miracle you are waiting for. And you cannot receive what you have stopped believing for. Tear the wall down this morning, not because I am telling you to, but because God is telling you to. He is saying, I know you have been hurt. I know disappointment has visited your house more than once, but I am not like the people who let you down. I am not like the circumstances that betrayed you. I am God, and I do not change. What I promised, I will perform. What I said, I will do. Let me talk to you about seeds for a moment. Every seed that has ever produced a harvest first had to go through a season underground where nothing seemed to be happening. If you dug up that seed 3 days after you planted it, you would see nothing, no sprout, no stem, no sign of life. And if you did not understand how seeds work, you might think the seed had failed, that nothing was happening, that you had wasted your effort. But underground, in the dark, in the place where no one could see, the seed was cracking open. It was dying to its old form so that it could become something new. It was doing the most important work of its entire existence in the place where it looked the most dead. That is where some of you are right now. You feel like nothing is happening. You feel buried. You feel like you have been forgotten in the dark. But I need you to understand, the dark season is not the absence of growth. The dark season is often where the deepest growth happens. What feels like your ending is actually your becoming. What feels like a grave is actually a garden. God is not done with you. He is not finished. He is doing underground work so that what breaks through the surface will be strong enough, rooted enough, ready enough to carry the weight of the harvest that is coming. I want to speak to the mothers who are praying for their children this morning. I want to speak to the fathers who lie awake at night worried about the choices their sons and daughters are making. You have been praying for years, and it does not look like anything has changed. Your child is still far from where you hoped they would be. But I am here to remind you of a promise. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That seed you planted in prayer, in tears, in sleepless nights, that seed is not dead. It is underground, it is cracking open, and one day, maybe sooner than you think, it is going to break through the surface, and you are going to see the harvest of every prayer you ever prayed. I want to speak to the ones who are believing for healing this morning. Maybe it is your own body. Maybe it is the body of someone you love more than your own life. The doctors have given their report, and it was not the report you wanted to hear. But I want to remind you that there is a report that outranks every medical report, every scan, every diagnosis. It is the report of the Lord. And the report of the Lord says, by His stripes you are healed. I am not telling you to ignore wisdom. I am not telling you to ignore medicine. But I am telling you to hold on to hope with both hands, because hope is not naive. Hope is powerful, and a merry heart does good like medicine. I want to speak to the ones believing for provision this morning. You look at your bank account and it does not add up to your bills. You look at your job situation and it does not look secure. You have done the math 100 times and the math does not work. But God is not limited by your math. God is not limited by your bank account. God fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fish, and there were leftovers. God is not worried about your shortage, because your shortage is not a problem for a God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He is not broke. He is not out of resources. He is simply waiting for you to trust Him with what you cannot control. I want to speak to the ones who are lonely this morning. Maybe you are single and you have prayed for a spouse for so long that you wonder if it will ever happen. Maybe you have friends, but you still feel isolated in a room full of people. Maybe the people who were supposed to stand with you walked away when things got hard. I want you to know that God sees your loneliness. He is not distant from it. He is close to the brokenhearted, and He saves those who are crushed in spirit. You are not forgotten in this season. You are not overlooked. God is preparing not just a miracle for your circumstances, but companionship for your soul. Whether that comes through people He brings into your life or through the depth of relationship He wants to have with you personally. I want to speak to the ones who are exhausted this morning, not just physically tired, but soul tired, the kind of tired that a good night's sleep cannot fix. You have been carrying so much for so long. You have been the strong one for everyone else, and nobody has asked if you are okay. I want to remind you that you were never meant to carry everything alone. Come to Him, all you who are weary and burdened, and He will give you rest. Not rest as the world gives it, but a deep rest, a soul rest, a rest that meets you in the middle of your storm and calms it from the inside out. This morning is not about giving you a formula. It is not about telling you if you say the right words or do the right rituals, your miracle will drop out of the sky. That is not faith, that is superstition, and God did not call you to superstition. He called you to relationship. He called you to trust. He called you to walk with Him even when you cannot see 3 steps ahead, because He can see the whole road, and He has never once lost His way. I want you to think about every impossible situation you have already walked through and survived. Think about the times you thought you would not make it, and yet here you are. Here you are still breathing. Here you are still standing. Here you are reading these words with a heart that still has the capacity to hope, even after everything that has tried to kill that hope. That is not an accident. That is not luck. That is grace. That is the hand of God carrying you through seasons that should have destroyed you. If He carried you through that, He will carry you through this. If He made a way then, He will make a way now. The same God who did not abandon you in your last impossible situation is not going to abandon you in this one. He has a perfect track record. He has never lost a battle. He has never broken a promise. He has never been late one single time in the history of eternity. So why would today be the day He starts failing you? I want you to lift your eyes this morning. Stop staring at the size of your problem and start staring at the size of your God. Your problem is big. I will not pretend it is not. Your problem is real. I will not minimize it. But your God is bigger. Your God is not intimidated by your problem. Your God is not scrambling to figure out a solution. He already has the solution. He had the solution before you even had the problem. He is not reacting to your situation. He is orchestrating your situation, and everything that looks like chaos to you looks like a plan to Him. Some of you need to stop trying to figure out how God is going to do it. That is not your job. Your job is to trust that He will do it. You are not the architect of your miracle. You are the recipient of it. Stop trying to control the process and start surrendering to the process. Let God be God. Let Him work in ways you cannot predict, through people you did not expect, through doors you did not even know existed. The moment you try to limit God to what makes sense to you, you limit the very miracle you are praying for. I want to remind you this morning that miracles rarely look the way we imagine them. We imagine a miracle as a sudden flash, a lightning bolt moment where everything instantly changes. Sometimes it happens that way. But more often, a miracle looks like a series of small, quiet moves that only make sense when you look back and connect the dots. A phone call you almost did not answer. A person you almost did not talk to. A door that opened after 10 others closed. a word that someone spoke to you at exactly the right moment. Do not despise small beginnings, because small beginnings are often the seeds of the biggest miracles. This morning, I am asking you to open your hands, not just your physical hands, but your heart. Whatever you have been holding on to so tightly, the bitterness, the fear, the need to control everything, the disappointment from prayers that seemed unanswered, I am asking you to open your hands and let it go. You cannot receive a new miracle with hands that are still clenched around old pain. Let it go. Not because the pain was not real, but because holding on to it is not protecting you, it is blocking you. I want to remind you of something important. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is choosing to move forward even when fear is screaming at you to stop. You do not have to feel brave to be brave. You do not have to feel strong to be strong. You simply have to take the next step, even if that step is shaking. God does not need you to be fearless. He needs you to be faithful. And faithful simply means showing up again today, believing again today, praying again today, even after yesterday did not go the way you hoped. There is a reason the sun rises every single morning without fail. It is a picture of God's mercy. Lamentations tells us His mercies are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness. That means yesterday's failures do not disqualify you from today's miracle. Yesterday's doubt does not disqualify you from today's breakthrough. Every single morning, God gives you a clean page. He does not hold your yesterday against your today. So whatever happened yesterday, the mistake you made, the prayer you gave up on, the moment you lost your temper or lost your patience, let it stay in yesterday. Today is new. Today is fresh. Today mercy is waiting for you, and so is your miracle. I want to speak now directly to the fighters, to the ones who have been in the ring for round after round, and every time they think the fight is over, the bell rings again for another round. I know you are tired. I know your arms feel heavy. I know there have been moments you wanted to just stay down and not get back up. But I am here to remind you, the fact that you are still standing is proof that something greater than your circumstances is holding you up. You did not survive this long by your own strength alone. There has been a hand on you the whole time, even in the moments you could not feel it. Do not you dare quit now. Do not you dare give up in the season right before your breakthrough. So many people give up one prayer, one step, one day before their miracle arrives. Do not let that be your story. Do not let the enemy convince you that just because it has not happened yet, it is never going to happen. The timing is not wrong. The delay is not denial. Keep standing, keep believing, keep showing up. Your breakthrough is closer than it has ever been. I want to remind you this morning of the power of gratitude. It might seem strange to talk about gratitude when you are still waiting for your miracle, but gratitude is not just a response to blessing. It is often the key that unlocks it. When you thank God in the middle of the waiting, you are declaring that your trust in Him is not conditional on your circumstances changing. You are saying, God, even if it does not happen the way I want, even if it does not happen when I want, I still trust you. I still believe you are good. I still believe you have a plan. That kind of gratitude moves the heart of heaven. Start thanking God this morning for what you cannot yet see. Thank Him for the healing that is already working, even if you cannot feel it yet. Thank Him for the provision that is already on its way, even if your account does not show it yet. Thank Him for the relationships that are already being restored, even if the phone call has not come yet. Thank Him for the breakthrough that is already in motion, even if your circumstances have not caught up to it yet. Gratitude in advance is one of the most powerful expressions of faith you can offer. I want you to picture your future self for a moment. Picture the version of you who is on the other side of this trial. Picture the version of you who is holding the testimony instead of just holding the pain. That version of you exists. That version of you is coming. And when you get there, you are going to look back at this exact moment, this exact morning, and you are going to realize this was part of the process. This was not wasted time. This was preparation time. And you are going to tell someone else who is exactly where you are right now, I know it feels impossible. I know it feels like it will never change, but hold on. God is faithful. He did it for me, and He will do it for you too. This morning, I release faith over every area of your life that feels stuck. I release faith over your finances. I release faith over your health. I release faith over your family. I release faith over your relationships. I release faith over your purpose. I release faith over your dreams that you buried because you thought they were too big, too far gone, too impossible now. God is not done with those dreams. He planted them in you for a reason, and He does not plant something in you just to let it die without ever coming to life. I want to remind you that God specializes in things that look impossible. He specializes in dry bones coming back to life. He specializes in walls falling down without a single weapon being used. He specializes in giants being defeated by the ones everyone else counted out. He specializes in barren situations suddenly becoming fruitful. If your situation looks impossible, you are actually in the perfect position for God to show up, because impossible is where He does His best work. He is not intimidated by impossible. Impossible is where His glory shines the brightest, because when the breakthrough finally comes, there is no other explanation except that God did it. So this morning, stop apologizing for still having hope. Stop apologizing for still believing after everything you have been through. Your hope is not foolish. Your hope is not naive. Your hope is anchored in the character of a God who has never once failed to keep His word. Let your hope be loud this morning. Let your faith be bold this morning. Let your prayers be confident this morning, not because you have it all figured out, but because you know the one who does. I want to close this morning by reminding you of one simple truth. God is not finished with you. Whatever chapter you are in right now, it is not the final chapter. There are pages left to be written, and some of the best pages of your story have not even begun yet. The miracle you never expected is not a fantasy. It is not wishful thinking. It is being prepared right now in ways you cannot see, through timing you cannot control, by a God who has never once forgotten a single promise He has made to His children. So lift your head this morning, straighten your shoulders, take a deep breath, and let it out slowly, and as you do, release every ounce of doubt, every ounce of fear, every ounce of discouragement that has been sitting on your chest. You were not created to carry that weight. You were created to walk in freedom, to walk in faith, to walk in expectation of good things, because a good God is preparing good things for you, even the things you never expected, even the things you stopped believing were possible. This is your morning. This is your moment. This is your invitation to believe again, to hope again, to pray again with fire instead of fatigue. Somewhere between this sentence and your next breath, faith is rising in you. Let it rise. Do not push it down. Do not talk yourself out of it. Let it rise, because faith rising in you is the first sign that your miracle is closer than you think. Walk out into today expecting something good to happen. Walk into your work, into your home, into your relationships, into your prayer time, expecting God to move. Expectation is not entitlement, it is trust in action. When you expect good things from God, you are honoring who He says He is. You are agreeing with His promises over your circumstances. And when you live that way, you position yourself to receive what He has already prepared. So today, I declare over you, your miracle is coming, not because you have earned it, not because you have figured it all out, but because God is good, and His goodness does not depend on your performance. It depends on His character, and His character never changes. He was faithful yesterday. He is faithful today. He will be faithful tomorrow. And somewhere in the middle of your ordinary morning, on a day that felt like any other day, He is preparing to do something you never expected, something you could not have planned, something only He could get the credit for. Hold on. Keep believing. Keep praying. Keep showing up. Your miracle has not forgotten your address. It is on its way. And when it arrives, it is going to be worth every single moment you had to wait. I want to leave you with one more thought before you step out into this day. Somewhere in your life right now, there is a version of you from a year ago, 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, who prayed for the very life you are living today and did not even realize it had already come true. You have already lived through miracles you did not recognize in the moment because they did not arrive wrapped the way you expected. This morning, ask God to open your eyes, not just to the miracle that is coming, but to the miracles that are already surrounding you right now, hidden in plain sight, disguised as ordinary days. Look at the people who love you. That is a miracle. Look at the breath filling your lungs right now. That is a miracle. Look at the fact that you have survived every single bad day you were ever certain would break you, and yet here you are, still standing, still hoping, still reaching towards something better. That is not weakness. That is the fingerprint of God on your life, and it has been there the entire time, even in the seasons when you felt most alone. Do not let today be a day you simply survive. Let today be a day you actually live, fully awake to the possibility that something is shifting on your behalf. Speak differently today, walk differently today, pray differently today, not with desperation, but with expectation, because desperation says God might not come through, while expectation says God has already started moving, and you are simply waiting to see the evidence with your own eyes. To every mother carrying the weight of her household alone this morning, your strength has not gone unnoticed by heaven. To every father who feels like he is failing, even though he is trying his hardest, your effort is seen and it matters. To every young person wondering if their life will ever make sense, your story is still being written, and the best chapters are still ahead. To every person nursing a quiet grief that nobody else knows about, comfort is coming, and you will laugh again, fully, freely, the way you used to before the pain arrived. This is not the end of your story. This is a turning page. And turning pages are always a little uncomfortable, a little uncertain, because you cannot see what is written on the next one until you turn it. But I promise you this, the God who wrote every page before this one is not going to abandon the story now. He is not going to leave you stranded in the middle of the plot. He finishes what he starts, and he started something in you a long time ago that he fully intends to complete. So breathe deep this morning. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension leave your body. Let the worry loosen its grip. You are held. You are seen. You are not forgotten. And today, in ways you never expected, through doors you did not even know existed, God is moving on your behalf. Receive it. Believe it. Walk in it. This is your morning, and this is only the beginning.